Huh, very strange. Okay, I hope that I'm back. Is the stream on? See? Thank you, Gary. See what you did? Is this what you wanted? Sabotage my stream like this. Okay, let's get back to painting. I think that you guys can see me properly, I hope. I hope that you can also hear me properly. If not, just tell me. And hopefully everything will be fine. Also, my cables were in somewhat of a stable position. Now they are all over the place. I don't think that the disconnect was because of that, but yeah. Hey there, Primaris Project. Can't imagine painting while not sitting, to be honest. Well, I actually prefer standing up, so yeah, I like it quite a bit. Thank you for the follow, everyone. Oh damn, we lost so many viewers. That's awful. But at least there is some fun. Okay, let's get back on track. But gain a screen crashing sub. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Gary took them out. Jesus Christ. Personally, I don't feel like I need to adjust the honkers too much. So I will just shade them a little bit. I also wonder, did it actually like fully crash and restart the stream? Or is this the continuation of the previous stream? Or, like, are we on the same stream? Or is this, did it start another one basically? It did a full crash, so this is a whole nother stream? Is that right? Hey, Gomezara! How are you? Gome the Gnome is here. Oh yeah, that's right, actually. This is a new session. Had to close old stream and had to find you again. Ah, okay, I see. Too bad. As far as OBS is concerned, you are still going, but it was crash, yeah. Too bad. Well, hopefully those viewers will come back. But as it is right now, at least there is silver lining that I am not getting as sweaty. So yeah. Gary. You might be remembered as a legend of this stream. Thank you for the follow, Saphir Dragon. It's the GIF, yeah. It is indeed. And also when anyone subscribes to the channel, it shows the other GIF. The one where I play the trumpet. So essentially, what I'm saying is that you should subscribe to see it. You in particular. Or you know what? Can I actually gift a sub? But subscribe slowly or it might nuke the stream. Do you think that's the case? Jesus. Give some sub to stress test the stream. Don't tell me that subbing that many subs. Don't tell me that many subs actually crashed the stream. If so, that's hilarious. Okay, where do I actually gift subs? Thank you for the sub. However, the alert doesn't work for gifted subs. It's for your subscription, resub, and something else. For Prime sub. You wish, Gary. Also, before you joined, go me. Gary actually made me stand up because I wanted, or he wanted me to see. I got lost in the sauce. But basically, I told everyone that I have a height adjustable desk, and he wanted to see it. He didn't even believe me, so yeah. I started to adjust the height, and as I adjusted the height, the entire stream crashed. Yeah, it's definitely Gary. I think so too. It's too much power, and we are all watching the stream standing up as well. As you should. The legend of Gary grows. It grows indeed. Not the gifted subs crash the stream. I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I have zero clue. Maybe neither crashed the stream. It's entirely... It's something else, you know. Who knows? Hey Wizard, hi, just wanted to thank you for all your awesome work and your videos about painting. I'm a very base level painter right now, and all those videos helped me very much. Well, thank you, I am very glad to hear that. Gary, nice of you not calling it infamy. I have to say that I was really worried about streams before I started. And yeah, it's very stressful, and I didn't expect this to crash. But so far, it's absolutely hilarious, even though everything goes haywire. Thank you for the follow, Daddy Bips. Hi, I'm so happy to find you on Twitch and follow you on YouTube, and thank you for all your stuff. It is so helpful. Very glad to hear that. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Gary, Zumi, are you ever planning to do a send your painted miniatures and eye critique in 2 to 3 minutes kind of thing? Just as a content idea, I love this kind of stuff on YouTube. I actually did that, and that was somewhat recently because my patrons sent me their squigs and I critiqued them. So yeah, I already did that. And I'm open to do more, but unfortunately that video was quite a underperformer. Well, I can do it again, but I just have to tailor a specific idea around it, you know. Thanks everyone for the follow. Welcome on stream. And by the way, spilled paint pot, I'm not sure if I mentioned it or whether the stream was down during that period or not. But thank you so much for all the subs. I truly appreciate it. I'm just not sure if I mentioned it already because the stream was crashing. Thank you for the follow, I and Asylum Barbecue. You're welcome. Thanks for all the hours of content, teaching, and entertainment you have provided. Thank you for the subs, again. Can you give us small advice about painting? Right now I need to paint Kratos, and I don't want to paint him in gray. I want to paint him in irregular colors and then spray ash on top of his skin. What do you think about this idea? So first of all, how big is your Kratos? Because depending on that, the process is gonna be entirely different, you know. If it's like a big itcher, basically anything above 75mm scales, then yeah, that's gonna be quite different. But most of the time, when we are talking about gray and black, then I really prefer to use shades of blue. Bigature, you say? Yes, bigature. MTech Productions is like, bigatures are our specialty. That's a Star Wars prequel meme, by the way. It's basically a big figure, size of a hand. Thank you for the follow, Vazde Miniatures and Lord Big Duck. It's basically a big figure, size of a hand. A hand? Or like a hand and a forearm, because that's quite a difference. That's 75 millimeters. Boo, that's not a bigature. It's big enough. I mean, come on. Sorry, a palm of a hand. Maybe a bit bigger. Ah, okay. So basically a 75 millimeter scale. Yeah, I mean, the same thing, honestly. What I would do, I honestly don't know what is your idea of spraying ash on top. But what I will do is start with some cyan or blue tones and build up to gray. By perhaps adding white. Maybe you could put some stuff for ice basing on top part and dry brush it with gray, maybe. Sounds like it's 1/10 scale. Gary. To stay in line with KDM grossness, give Aya some armpit hair. No, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, come on. She's supposed to be sexy and... Well, armpit hair can be sexy, I guess. But I just don't prefer it. If you like females from Kingdom Death, have you seen Limbo Division? Oh boy, have I! Just hold on a minute. Do you recognize this? I mean, that's actually from their old model and I have it painted. So let me show it to you guys. I'm really proud of this piece. It even has a backdrop plinth, which I absolutely love. You guys see that shit? I don't think it looks as good in stream, but you might have seen it on Instagram. And yeah, I absolutely love Limbo Division models. They are fantastic. Unfortunately, this is the only one that I have painted so far, but I am definitely gonna paint more. I also have some plans for like backdrop plans with some of their models. It just fits so nicely. So yeah, I have so many unpainted Limbo Division models that I could basically spend the entire year just painting those. And yeah. Wow, I encourage the stream and Big Duck is making Zumi vanish. That's some wizard shit right there. Oh boy, I wish my girlfriend would let me paint it without being sentenced to sleep on the couch for life. I mean, come on. It's just minis. But anyway, if you guys want to see more of that, of this particular Limbo Division miniature, what the fuck is up with the light? It just doesn't work as well. Sorry for the wobbly camera, but yeah, if you guys want to see more of this miniature, basically it's on my Instagram, so check it out over there. Yeah, you're gonna see better version of it. Like this, for some reason, it just doesn't look as good. I think it's the light. Maybe if I adjust it like this? Huh? Maybe? Maybe not? Yeah, anyway, back to painting. Love how he almost just threw the KD mini and left. I mean, it's still not finished, so any damage can be repaired, you know. Really nice painting. Thank you. Yo, neon color cyberpunk style. Yeah, of course. I mean, the Limbo Division miniatures lend themselves so nicely to cyberpunk. I mean, they are kind of cyberpunk minis, right? Cornate Knight, welcome to the stream. Hello everyone, after watching your videos, I wanted to return to painting miniatures after a long break. I am very glad to hear that. I'm not saying your name. You got a license for that bakery? Sheesh. Well, I'm sorry. Actually, let me get a drink. Wizard, I made some research and there are not so much good Kratos painted. At least not on the level that I like. Pretty high. Since it's 75mm model, I want to make it look like real skin. And as far as I understand, it's easier to paint normal skin and then airbrush over it with gray. Then try to paint gray and then... Ah, okay, I see. I get what you mean. So sorry. I think that painting skin is not really about colors. Like, it can be, but you can basically paint entire miniature in black and white, and it can still work. So it's more about, like, getting the volumes correctly, right? Painting muscles as muscles, painting all the shapes basically anatomically correctly, and that's what will get you there. It doesn't matter if you don't have as much red and yellow and magenta present. So you don't have to worry, really. Yeah, but anyway, about those Limbo Division models, I have like about 10 of them in here waiting for me in my pile of potential, right? So yeah, I might get to some on stream, but we'll see. Gary, I could show you well-painted one by a friend of mine, but I don't know if I can post links in here. I don't know if you are able to, but if you are, go ahead. Are the prints of Limbo Division good? They are actually cast miniatures, so they are not 3D printed, I think. They definitely look cast, even though like little supports are cast. So yeah, they are definitely good quality, especially the newer ones. What colors are used here for the skin? All kinds of colors. If you want to see my palette, here's what it looks like. What we used so far are mostly paints like beige red, mahogany brown, and of course mixes between these. Then I used some pastel, actually not pastel pink, actually sickly pink. And in some of the shades of this miniature is airbrushed magenta. And we will airbrush magenta even further as we go. I want to get to that soon, but I still feel like I have to adjust some of the parts of the mini. Thank you for the follow, everyone who followed me recently. I think that next time we'll start the stream standing up because this is just more convenient. Even though it doesn't sound like it, right? Oh yeah, that old Kratos model have like 2 to 3% body fat. He is super ripped. Thank you for advice. By the way, those thighs is absolutely awesome. And they are not even done, but thank you. The face is painted awesome. Well, thank you. I actually, most of the time spent on this model so far has been on the face. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can see it there as well, and maybe even in better detail. Yeah, because it's not on video, right? Gary, what do you think of Scale 75 artist colors? I have tried some, but they are wet blending colors, and I am not much of a wet blender. So yeah, I think that, what is their name? Craft World Studio, they use them a bunch, right? So for their particular style, it's definitely great. It behaves like oil paints, I suppose. Their coverage isn't outstanding. And I like, personally, very good coverage of paints. So if wet blending is your style, fantastic. If not, maybe Vallejo and AK Interactive is better. I am definitely a layering Larry. I wonder how many people are actually joining us from the previous stream that crashed. And who is joining us, who is actually entirely new viewer. Can any of you guys see how long did the last stream last? Last stream last, Jesus. That didn't sound right. Thank you for the follow, Magenta Pikachu. Another one from our wonderful Kingdom Death community. 3 hours. 3 hours exactly? Actually, I can just count it, right? Yeah, it's been 3 hours. Interesting. Yeah, because I started at 7 p.m. my time. Makes sense. Yeah, I know, but I'm just, you know, busy painting, so yeah. So thank you for the help. By the way, Atel, I am really wondering, what did your friends say about the Japanese version of We Are the Champions? Well, given that this is my 3rd stream ever, not too familiar. But like, I would assume that I get to see my past streams, so yeah. For those of you guys who are wondering what I'm talking about when I mentioned the We Are the Champions in Japanese, basically, since I am Czech, when you turn on the Japanese version of We Are the Champions, you can hear there Sem chura chlubate, which essentially, when you translate it to English, means I am a hairy dick. So it kind of ruins the song for some people. Thank you for the follow, James. I am rushing a little bit in here because I want to get to the airbrushing stage. Because believe me, once you see it, it's better than snorting cocaine. It's just awesome. It smooths everything out, and it's super fast. It'll look fantastic. Thank you for the follow, Warshakar. Okay. Yeah, I will get to the airbrushing stage, and after that we are gonna end the stream. But since you guys have been with me for a little bit already, I really want to show you how much it helps to apply essentially filters with your airbrush. And that's personally, that's like the reason why to get an airbrush. You can do anything else with a different tool, but well, you can do the filtering as well with your hand brush, the paintbrush, but it's definitely not as convenient. Will you end the stream or will Carrie crash it again? Who knows? Follow me to find out. Am I right? Thank you for the follow, Candy Crafting. Do any of you guys watch Marco from Not Just Mecha, and especially his stream? Because I know that he's been painting a single miniature for multiple streams. And I just want to know how long did it take to actually finish? Or he's actually still in the process, right? Negative CHA. And do you know when did he start the miniature that he's currently painting on his streams? Haven't watched any of Marco's streams, strangely. Ben. Yeah, he's painting Max with a Jungle Queen. For how long has he been painting this particular mini? Do you know? Because I feel like if I painted this mini only for streams, it would take freaking eternity. Like, let's say, even like 10 streams. I don't know how long. Last one was 4 streams long. And did he paint everything on his streams, or did he paint offline as well? Maybe I should dare Zoomy to show us how high the table can go. This is a maximum. So yeah. And this is like 121 centimeters, I think. Thank you for the follow, Maxim. Man, Gary just wants to see me suffer, doesn't he? I think everything was done on stream, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Only hardships create great painter. Sansu or something. I'm so sorry that you guys have to see me lick the brush, but I feel like if I didn't do that, it would take me eternity to do this. Yeah, so many people are brush lickers, but it's not good for you. But at least, if you can avoid licking some of the paints, for the love of God, don't lick red paints. You may have heard this story already, but one time I licked a certain red paint and my mouth started to itch quite a bit. It wasn't very pleasant. So yeah, and also some of the red paints contain carmine, I think, and that's quite toxic, so 0 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. Only brush, just gotta remember to do it always when you paint with oils. Yeah, sure. No. Actually, if you are painting with oils and you lick your brush, you are clinically insane. Thank you for the follow, Goose. Hey, good guy. How are you? Cause it's cherry flavor. No, it's not cherry. I wish. Just lick some oil paint. Jesus Christ, don't lick oil paints, guys. Remember, Andrea paints tastes like vanilla. Thank you, good guy. How did you find me, if I may ask? Wait, so they smelled cinnamon. Jesus Christ. Hey Zumi, where are you from? I am from Czech Republic, Czechia, right next to Germany and Poland. Gary, Zumi, what color will you paint her corset? And from what I see, you did not do azenithal. I did do azenithal, but I already base coated everything. So zenithal is useful, but when you paint everything anyway, like, you won't see it in the end, right? But the coverage was definitely better, so yeah. I will have to shoot you a message sometime. I'm working on a IKEA Scadis hobby organization system. Funnily enough, I want to do... The next video will be definitely about my studio and all of this furniture and equipment and height adjustable desks. So you can look forward to that. And I have... this is not Scadis though. I don't know what it's called, but basically I have a system for shelves from IKEA and it was quite expensive. So you'll see that in my next video. Good guy. Recommended. I watch your YouTube for white paint, mediocrity, and other stuff. Well, I am glad to hear that. It's so funny. Each time I hear you... What? Each time I hear you zenithal, it sounds like genital. And once you hear it, in what world does zenithal sound like genital? Like what? Zumikito. Hey, Zumikito, I love your YouTube videos. I'm glad to hear that. Get my 10th edition box on Monday, and I'm stoked to try some of your tips on the larger models. Well, hopefully everything works out. By the way, Kido, are you new to this hobby? I'm wondering. If so, definitely don't be hard on yourself. Doesn't help anything. Gary, don't paint your wiggly bits. Yeah, maybe he's French. What? No, you guys have to actually tell me. Does zenithal with Z sound like genitals? Like what? I surrounded my desk with the Scadis pegboard and have been working on paint, brush, hobby tool holders for it with the goal of maximizing the use of vertical space. Yeah, actually, I would like to see that. That sounds quite interesting. Let's see. Yes, I did. What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, I did my toes into the hobby during Corona, but dropped it because I didn't have space to paint. Now I got a proper table, lights, and want to try it again. Yeah, the 10th edition box is definitely a good idea for that. When I read the dip my toes, I thought you mean it literally, which confused me a little bit. So yeah. But for sure, definitely don't be hard on yourselves. My first models were absolutely awful. And I am quite surprised when I see how others did with their first models. Almost always it's better. What? Goops actually painted with his toes? What? Lolus, hi. Glad seeing you stream. I love your videos. Thank you. Appreciate it. Atel. Well, I'm off to bed. Have a good rest evening. Yeah, see ya, Atel. Thank you for joining the stream. And thank you for the follow, Kido and Fanguat and Good Guy and Lolus. Wow. So many people followed to the last minute. Or is my stream glitched? Hello, Fanguat. Your name actually sounds like the villain from Shrek 1. And I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, see you on Wednesday, Atel. Yeah, Good Guy. What I meant is that just like so many people followed at the same minute. Yeah, that's it. But I guess you are not wrong as well. This is a very awkward angle. But it has to be done. Yeah, okay. Okay, the chest is fine as it is, I feel like. Maybe some touch-ups here and there. And of course, when I say that it's fine as it is, it still has to be blended, but that's gonna be done with my airbrush. So sorry to you guys who have heard it already like zillion times, but for those of you who are joining the stream just now, I feel like I have to mention it. Personally, I really want to get one of these Kingdom Death minis, but I don't live alone, so yeah, I don't live alone either, so yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world. Almost finished this damn bust. And an hour to go on the print. For those of you who have no clue what MTech Productions is talking about, he is painting a certain bust on which he has been working for a while now. And I'm glad to hear that he is almost finished with it. There's also releases which are not so pin-up-ish. Oh yeah, definitely. I also ordered the Mist and Moss. And I am really looking forward to painting them. Yeah, definitely. Like, Kingdom Death minis are not all sexualized. Okay, we are moving into this armpit area again. And no, Gary, there is not gonna be armpit hair. Zumi, did you get Skrell? Yes, she's sitting in my pile of potential. Why do you ask, Gary? Thank you for the follow, everyone. The last one is Agrimos. Thank you for the follow. Because I only saw one painted version of her so far and she's still in the store. Usually everything sells out in like a few days. She's in there for over 2 months now. So you want to see her painted, huh? There's no way I'm gonna paint her anytime soon. Unfortunately. Still a nice model, though. Yeah, but Skrell is exactly an example of Kingdom Death monster model that is not overly sexualized. Oh, well, she is not sexualized at all. Didn't know you streamed. Been subscribed for ages. Thank you, Agrimos. Well, yeah, this is like my 3rd stream ever, so just started basically. On what? I was pleased to find someone painting something other than 40k on a Saturday afternoon. Painting with others, even on Twitch, helps to motivate me. I am very glad to hear that. In my case, I feel like I'm more productive when I'm painting alone. But like, at least when I stream, I get something done. It might not be as fast, but at least there is some progress. Gary, no, it is fine. I was just curious and thought of her when we were talking about non-sexualized models. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a good example. Yeah, the one I might get, if still available, is the Moss. And by the way, speaking of non-sexualized, okay, I cannot leave her like this. That's a very bad angle. Speaking of non-sexualized KDM miniatures, well, this one is not like overly sexualized, but she is definitely sexy, I think. You have another miniature with a backdrop plinth. This backdrop plinth is actually 3D printed, and this is, I think she's called Sci-Fi Twilight Night, I think. And yeah, really awesome mini. She has big boobs, but like that doesn't necessarily make her sexualized, right? Yeah, this is Sci-Fi Twilight Night, my version. It's also on my Instagram, so if you guys are curious, you can find her there. Really nice mini. I absolutely love it. So yeah. Also, thank you for the follow, Sekyun2 and JCR. And Agrimos. Yeah. So where are we? Okay, I won't really touch this arm. The boobs are okay. Well, oh, thank you for the sub, Magenta Pikachu. Appreciate it. Now I can steal all your secrets. Well, hopefully. The progress here is so flippin' slow. I just really want to get to airbrushing stage on this stream, because that stuff is, you'll see, it's great. Great stuff. Oh, your skin is always so good. Yeah, thank you. I guess that's why it takes so long. Just blending for eternity. The mini is nice too. I wasn't sure whether I can paint pin-up minis on my streams, but everyone says that it's okay, so yeah. Thank you for the follow, Paint Water Sommelier. Oh yeah, I think that Pika has been here for a while already, since he followed the channel like an hour ago, I guess. Just didn't really say anything so far. I followed you. I followed, but I was in the parking lot at the store, so I had to close stream, but now I'm actually here. Fantastic. What is your time zone actually? Because in here it's 11 p.m. So I'm just wondering. It's 11 p.m. and still so bloody hot, yeah. Same for me. 2 p.m. for Magenta Pikachu. Yeah, her boobs are great and the paint is good too. I'm excited to say that her boobs are gonna be even better. I'm surprised nobody's made the "you missed a spot" joke yet. There can be so many jokes that, like, it's kind of given that you'll miss some of them. I'm actually happy you did not put in a nip slip like some other painted ones I saw of her. Personally, I don't feel like it suits this model. I also try to approach the box art, not box art, but box illustration, and there is no nipple visible in there. Like just in general. Like in general, people are including nip slips on their pinups. Well, even if I wanted to do that, I can't, since Twitch wouldn't allow it. Yeah, but some people seem to force it. It just does not fit her though. I also feel like this one is quite cute. I don't feel like it would suit her. You kinda have to listen to Twitch if you wanna stay on platform. Just change your streaming category to pool hot tub streams and you are golden. No, I think that I still can't show a nipple. And also, who would watch me then? You could do it like a fellow streamer here, still a rebel. She's living in Japan and does painting streams on OnlyFans. Yeah, I could do that, but you guys would have to pay. Not paint, but pay. So, yeah. Overall, I really like when content is accessible to anyone. I don't like hiding content behind paywalls. I'm still putting some content behind paywall on Patreon, for example, but that's just like some unedited raw footage that like honestly doesn't even matter too much. Have you guys seen the Cork Tower video? Because you can see me there half naked. Still Rebel paints mostly with oil paints, so she calls it OnlyFans. Which half are you? Well, you have to watch it to find out. And by the way, there has been a certain TikToker that made a video on YouTube where he essentially shows his butthole. And it's fine because it's like an educational content. So who knows? Maybe my video can fall into that category and then I can show you everything. You call that epic? Thank you for the follow, 7. Magenta Pikachu, I am afraid you've been censored by Twitch. So you might have to rephrase that and try again. I didn't censor it, it's just what Twitch does, so yeah, this is like my 3rd stream. I have no idea what is going on, but yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that video I wasn't ready as well. It was just, yeah. Twitch rules are so weird. A friend of mine was sculpting and had a reference on screen. He accidentally showed an anatomic model and banned for 7 days. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. I don't know why they are so pedantic about it. Okay. What else? This... Can't believe I passed on Easter Aya. And I snatched this one in like 2022, so... I guess it'll be available for next Easter as well. Can't wait to paint Oktoberfest though. Holding off on until September. I like the Easter version much more. The Oktoberfest Aya has an expression like she's been drinking a bit too much. So yeah, this one is my preferred version. Okay, you know what, guys? I might need to adjust this a little bit, at least when it comes to like the skin. The rest is unpainted, but let me start airbrushing it right now because I just want you guys to see it. So let me get my airbrush real quick and I'll show you magic. I'm waiting for them to re-release Echoes of Death 1 and 2. Thank you, Chidavi, for the follow. How are you guys excited for the Echoes of Death 4? Given that there is the Boxer miniature, I am very excited. I'm thrilled for 4. Okay. Okay, so look. This is my very old airbrush, right? For those of you who have seen the Cork Tower video, you might recognize this paint because I used fluo green to paint the entirety of the Cork Tower, but doesn't matter. The point is that this is very old and used airbrush and it's still absolutely fantastic workhorse. I also have the Infinity CR Plus airbrush, and that's the one which broke down yesterday. So that's too bad, but this will be more than enough. What I'll get now are special artist paints that are necessary for the thing that we are gonna do right now. So these are golden acrylics. See that shit? This is the one that I use the most. Quinacridone magenta. If you took something like this what we are gonna do right now is not gonna work, like, at all. Or if you do something like this. By the way, ignore the background, that's fine. Yeah, this magenta wouldn't work. This magenta will. The regular hobby paints that are used for painting miniatures, like AK Interactive Vallejo, Citadel, and stuff like that, they are kinda corrupted because there is so much different pigment. They have like some gray pigments, yellow pigments, like all kinds of stuff. But that also means that they cover better. However, this is pure pigment paint. This is just one pigment, which is quinacridone magenta. The same for this one, the same for this one. These are all single pigment colors. That means that you can use them for really thin filters and they don't cover perfectly. So they are super transparent, but on the other hand, they are super saturated, right? So the intensity of the paints is fantastic, and since they are very transparent, you can do multiple passes, and it's still fine. Okay, let's continue. So, first things first. Some water. By the way, if I am going way too fast, or I am not explaining it 100%, just watch the VOD, and there you go. So we have added water. Now we are gonna add just regular thinner for airbrush, just like 1 or 2 drops, or 3, I guess. And since you can see that this paint is quite glossy or satin, you only explained 98%. Well, I am so sorry. You just kinda have to come up with your 2%. But anyway, you can see that this paint is quite satin or glossy, and you don't really want glossiness or satin finish on some spots of your mini. So what we are gonna add is this matte varnish. Just 1 drop. I wouldn't add too much. See? Like that. Adding matte varnish to your airbrush mixes also helps, because sometimes when you spray with your airbrush, the paint forms these spider webs, right? And when you add matte varnish, the surface tension increases, and it doesn't do that as much. Thank you for subscribing, Johnny Manthing. Appreciate it. So 3 things so far. The thinner, just a few drops. The matte varnish and water, of course. And finally, we are gonna add the paint itself. Do you think that 50-50 mix of water and Galleria matte medium would work? No. You need most of the mix has to be water. Okay, I just want you to see now how little paint I'm adding. Okay. You might be wondering why this is purple and not magenta around it, and that's because I accidentally swapped cap from my purple to my magenta paint. So now it's mixed a little bit, so let me just clean my brush a little bit. Okay, fantastic. This is the amount of paint that I'm using. This will be more than enough. Okay. See how much diluting agent is inside? We're just gonna include the paint, mix it like this. Would Chimera work? Maybe, but Chimera is quite matte already, so I don't know if it behaves similarly. What you might notice with satin paints and glossy paints is that they are deeper, and therefore they are more suitable for this kind of thing. I didn't turn on my compressor, so we just gotta let it charge for a bit. And these are my tissues, and now you'll see. Are you doing Midwinter Minis Magic Juice? I have no idea what is the magic juice. Okay, do you see how transparent this layer was? Okay, just let me know in chat. Do you see how transparent that is? And if you hold it in place, right, it'll get more opaque. This is important because that way you can build filters to blend, essentially. It's very saturated and transparent. Exactly, that's what you want. So if you have noticed a little bit of magenta on her thighs, that's because I did this step already on her thighs. But I went back to building some of those reflections. So yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this is exactly the method that Sergio Calvo uses on his miniatures to add filters to them later. So essentially I am stealing his technique. But yeah, I really like it. And now you'll see it in action and hopefully you'll understand better. And of course you can, you can add different kinds of filters, so it's not like you have to add just magenta or you just have to add just red or just brown. Right now we'll add some magenta here and there, and if I feel like it, maybe I'll add some of this red. You know, really depends. And later on maybe I'll add some of this. And this will be really opaque since it's the corrupted kinda regular hobby paint. So that'll be used just for the deepest shadows. I'll be so scared to fuck it up now. Well, you can fuck it up. Maybe I will fuck it up. So let's find out. So let me just adjust my airbrush a little bit because I feel like the needle is kind of wobbly. And let's do some magic. I've tried filters before, but never that thin, which is probably why I could never get them to work. Yeah, and the thing is, if you do that with airbrush, you can do multiple passes, right? Very quickly. So what you want to do, if you watch my trigger on this airbrush, you want to press it down, release air, just quick release of paint, like this, and right back. So it is dry, like immediately. And like this, you can add 20 layers within 30 seconds or so, or whatever. It's super fast, and yeah, it's better than applying filters with your brush, right? What size needle are you using? I'm considering getting the detail one for my range, but not sure if it will just lead to more clogs. Yeah, you don't have to get like super thin needle. This is 0.2 and it's already very thin. If you did this with 0.3 or 0.4, like, I don't think that you'll notice a difference. So yeah. This is basically air glazing. Yeah, it is basically air glazing, but it matters very much which kind of colors you are using. So let's start where it matters the most, which is what? Which are her boobs. Also, you definitely can fuck up like the first few layers, but since it's so transparent, it like doesn't matter, you know. So watch her right boob from our perspective. Yeah, apparently I'm spraying on this one as well, so I cannot aim very well. But it doesn't matter. We can fix that rather easily. I don't know if you can even notice it, because the layer is so thin and the change is so gradual. So maybe you'll have to watch the VOD to actually see what is going on here. What, Zumikito? On Twitch? First I see Marco, then Eons of Battle. Is Twitch just YouTube now? I guess. Yeah, anyway, back to airbrush glazing. You can kinda already see it on this side, right? Still, we'll have to do multiple passes here. But hopefully, you can see where it's going. Hey, leaf painting. Last Easter. I'm so sorry, guys, that if I am not answering your messages. Oh, so it goes to the shadowy area, the transition to light. Yes, this is blending the midtones and the shade. So if I spray it on the shades, it doesn't matter. But preferably, I would like to keep it within like midtones. But if you overspray a little bit, like, not a problem. Yeah, so now we are blending this thigh part. Yeah, I actually might add more matte varnish. Also, I'd like to say your beard has gotten more majestic. Well, thank you. See, if it wasn't blended well before, now it should be, somewhat. Now I'm just blowing air on it so it gets dry faster. Can you do the reverse too? Blend the lightest tone to the mid-tone. Preferably, you don't want to spray into your highlights as much. You can spray into the edges of your highlights, but if you do that too much, you kind of have to re-establish them, which is what I done at the first part of this stream. Hey Aptos, welcome to the stream. By the way, if you guys have no idea about time you got into streaming, yeah, I guess. If you guys have no clue what I'm doing, you might have to rewatch the VOD to understand. Yeah, and also you can see on the edges of her butt, the brush strokes are kind of obvious, so we are gonna get rid of that. Do you ever over highlight with the intention of airbrush blending? I try to not over highlight, but if I do, I know that I can just go back with my airbrush and tune it down a little bit, you know? So it's not like I intentionally over highlight, but if I do, I kind of know that I can fix it. Now I'm spraying this part right here. Good policy. Do your best first time, but don't sweat if you do mess up. Yeah, like exactly. You don't want to be in the situation where you just fix everything all the time, and like that happens to me actually all the time. But if all you do is just fix stuff, then you don't get anywhere, right? Thanks everyone for the follow who followed me just now. Yeah, for example, this part, I feel like if I left it as it is right now, it would be fine. So now looks sunburned. How will you fix that? What part exactly looks sunburned? Do you mean this part? It's pretty red. Hold on. I just paint models to relax and to become better at it. It's pretty red. You made it to 2H finally. Well, glad to hear that. It's so sorry. I just can't keep up with the chat as I am painting this mini. The models in question. Yes, every time video gap, I figured you had found an awesome job or something. No. It just takes me a long time to produce a video. That's okay. Most people can't. Yeah. Okay, so let me get back to painting. Yeah, okay. So this side I am pretty happy with. Maybe, shit. Just ripped myself. Okay. A little bit on this side. Just blending this highlight. Yeah, and as it is, I think it's pretty good. We are here to distract you. Well, my mindset is more of I am here for you, not you for me. Can you use the Scale 75 artist colors for this too? I don't think so. They have some very weird medium. So yeah, I would just pick some really quality, like actual artist paints. Like, you can try it, absolutely, but I just don't think so. You can see the warm glaze blending it down. This must be at some... Yeah, this is like 1 bar, I guess. Chimera colors, knew it. I don't even think that Chimera colors would be that useful for this as well, since they have some kind of matte medium and that might clog your airbrush quite a bit, which would make this technique quite troublesome. He's right about heavy body mediums being very fussy. Chimera would be thicker and need more thinning. This stuff is even thicker than Chimera. Therefore, I am using very little amount of paint. Okay, let's progress to the torso. Yeah, so as someone mentioned in the chat, I'm spraying at very low PSI and very close to the model. So what happened here is that I actually sprayed a bit too much on her arm. So I'll have to fix it later. But the side of her boob is kinda nicely blended. Was very low. My standard is 20. 20 what? This is like on 10. Just to be clear. You can also definitely use like a masking putty or masking tape. But if you can actually aim yourself, it's fine. You can just screenshot the stream at this moment and compare it with what we had like 30 minutes before this moment. Silly Putty is workable, low-cost alternative. Yeah, you can use Blue Tech if you really wanted to. It makes a big difference. Makes a big difference to your brush blends. If you can get the dilution smooth enough, they do glaze very well. I mean, listen, you don't have to listen to me. You can try it yourself with whatever you have and see if it works. Maybe it can. I just haven't tried it yet. And when I say that I don't think that it'll work, that's just my opinion based on what experience I have with Scale 75, Artist Ranch, or Chimera colors. I just feel like they have not really suitable medium for that, but try it and you'll see. You definitely want to use lower PSI for this, because otherwise it's risky business, especially doing it this close. Okay, Axel Lodunom. I'm sorry that I'm butchering that, but yeah, good night. Thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, inks I think will work as well. Do the artist paints help getting the PSI down? I always seem to get clocks below 20. I'm not sure if you have been in the chat when I was actually putting stuff in my airbrush cup, but 95 to 98% of the liquids in my airbrush cup is just diluting agents. So that is matte varnish, water, and thinner. So because of this dilution, I feel like it cannot really clog, even in low PSI. So tell me what you think. I guess it already looks so much better than what we have started with. And thank you for the follow, Tavern of All Trades. Yeah, agreed with the Zumikito. Check dilution first, then tip, cleanliness next. It's also the case that the tip is getting dirty right now, but it's not too bad. And since the dilution is so high, the paint still gets through. If it's too diluted, worst case, you just need more passes. Yes, exactly. Because you can easily do like 20 different passes in a few seconds, and yeah. But it's better than clog and suddenly spraying the shit out on your... Yeah, I agree. 90% of my issues with my airbrush have been dilution, trigger control, or dry tip issues. Yeah, this will most likely prevent that. All of these steps, they did. Okay, then we can add a little bit in here. Yeah, so tell me guys, do you think that it looks better than when we started the skin? I need some feedback. I'm genuinely interested. Yeah, okay, great. Way more visually interesting, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes when you blend, it's not the case that you necessarily have to make everything smoother, but sometimes by adding information everywhere else, the stuff that is somewhat smooth but not perfectly smooth becomes smoother, but just by the fact that everything else is more busy. Plus the reds and browns are contrasting against the dull green leggings. Yeah, and yeah, the leggings are not done at all. Yeah, it's definitely noticeable and skin feels more fleshy, yeah. And this has been just magenta so far, you know, we'll add more. I think that I still want to add a little bit of the red. And maybe some brown for the deepest shades. But we'll see. Are you gonna try to make the stockings see-through? No, my plan is to make them like greenish white, something like that. Gray, green, white, something like that. Yeah, it's definitely. I've been here a bit, but yes, looks better than when I came in. Subtle shadows showing through. Awesome. Are you gonna try and make the stocking see-through? Yeah, I already answered that. Thank you for the follow, The Punisher and Parashino 2. Yeah, so most of this side, except like for majority of this arm, majority of this side is pretty much blended, or at least shaded with magenta. We will use some more reds and browns later, but this side still needs some of that sweet magenta. I think that before I started actually spraying, I said that this is better than snorting cocaine. Now you can see why. To me, it's just so satisfying. Yeah, and like if I think that it's the case that somewhere I used a bit too much magenta, there is nothing stopping me from using my old colors. I don't want to do that all the time because, as I said, I wouldn't really get anywhere. But maybe I could add some midtones on her boobs and stuff like that. But we'll see. We still have plenty colors to airbrush. I like your little hat dance. It's actually from one of my videos. The one where I convert the 3D printed dragon. And thank you for the follow, Danger Gerbly. So this side will be pretty much mostly in a shadow or in shade. So the highlights are definitely not as strong. Also, this is the position where... Or actually, let me try it with the base. I just want to test the position of the miniature because I didn't really think of that too much. Yeah, this is the base. I think she sits like this. Oh, okay, like this. So I think it won't matter as much if that other side is mostly in shade or darker rather. When you use airbrush, do you use stop trigger? What is a stop trigger? I guess there is your answer. Danger Garbly, no worries, didn't realize you streamed. Been following you on YouTube for ages. Thank you. I actually started somewhat recently. I started in July, so that's just 8 days. This is my 3rd stream ever. Yeah, I'm getting... The tip is a bit dry, but not too bad, so... Sometimes what I do is take a flow improver, dip my brush into the flow improver, and just use it on that. I believe stop trigger is a thing on some airbrushes that you can adjust to stop the trigger from going too far. Oh, okay, so... I don't have it on this, or maybe I do, actually. Yeah, maybe this thing is stop trigger, right? Yeah, I am not really using that. Unsure if it's just a learning thing, but I could see some uses for it. Well, if you gotta use it, just use it. There is no shame in that. Like, nothing in miniature painting is cheating, as long as you get nice results. Like, I mean, I guess the only thing that I would count as cheating is if someone paints it for you. And then you say that you painted it yourself. But other than that, I don't think that anything is cheating. Thanks everyone for the follow. Appreciate it. See, maybe I lost too many midtones on her arm, so I might have to re-establish that. I have an airbrush with one and never use it. It's faster to just use my own muscle memory. Yeah, I'm not even like... Look, this is my wrench. This is how much I pull it back. Like, not much at all. So I don't think that at that point the stop trigger would help me too much. Yeah, I will also have to paint over this arm because it's way too magenta-ish. You can also see that sometimes I release a bit too much paint, but it's not a problem since, as mentioned already, the paint is super thin. It's basically just a filter, so if you overspray it, just ignore one layer and yeah, and try to be more precise with your further layers. Are there colors where you use a mask while using the airbrush? Preferably, I will use the mask right now because I already made some fuck-ups on her arm. So, like, yeah, absolutely. Really depends. Yeah, this is also a bit too much. Alright, because I will now spray nearby her face, I will actually mask it, because that's the one thing that I really don't want to fuck up. Yeah. Hey Zerudar, how are you? Yeah, this looks a bit strange, but it'll do. Hopefully. I'm tired of painting the same model for a long time. Yeah, well, tell me about it. Sometimes I paint the same model for even over 100 hours. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but there is like a magenta streak right there. That has to be fixed later. Hey Gurali, sorry that I butchered your name. I'm quite tired already. It's almost midnight at this point. Thank you for the follow, Isofeast. And varnish, even acrylic ones, honestly, because it can get in your lungs. Oh, you mean like actual face mask? Sorry. Yeah, animals, oils, streaking grime. Yeah, varnish, probably a good idea. But mostly I am trying to not use paints where a face mask would be necessary. You do, if you don't have beard like me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have an airbrush booth, so maybe I buy a cheap one just to be safe. Look, I am working right now without an airbrush booth as well. If you are using it for your airbrush for these little touch-ups, it really doesn't matter. So, yeah. If you are army painting and using your airbrush a lot, then definitely use a mask, use an airbrush booth. Yeah, so this is where we are at. I like it quite a bit. There are definitely bits which we have to fix. Thank you for the follow, Heinrich. So now I guess let's continue with this kind of red. Okay. So right now I'm cleaning my airbrush because there's gonna be different paint. Hey, I've been watching your YouTube VODs. Thank you, Heinrich. Very glad to hear that. How did you find my stream? I wonder. Actually, the first time and even like the second time I streamed in here, there are many people that didn't know that I have a YouTube channel. So, like, there is no expectation for everyone to know my channel. I literally just saw your name and clicked and followed right away. See, even though I told everyone on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere really, some people just find me through Twitch. Yes, that's because my Twitch channel is quite new. It's like, I started streaming in July. We do? Oh, okay. It's too bad that he's not in the chat. He told me actually that he started painting minis because of me, which is like so heartwarming. Yeah, I think that I will mention it in my newest upload. So yeah. Yeah, I love KJ. You should actually clip that and send it to him. Okay, so for those of you who haven't been here, I started airbrushing, and basically what I'm doing is applying light filters to the skin tone, so it's to blend it essentially and add saturation. So again, what I'll do is add water, add like 2 drops of matte varnish, a few drops of the airbrush thinner. Yeah, this will be enough, hopefully. And then the paint. So yeah, we are gonna do the Nachtel red light. And again, this is very intense, very saturated paint. So just a small amount, something like this, will be fine. Airbrush always seems lots of work, adjustments, and disappointment. I mean, you tell me. If you like this result, this would take so much time without my airbrush that, like, I think it's very much worth it. Crypt Shadow. And you know what? Actually, this might be even too much paint from what I am seeing in my airbrush cup. So let's try it. No, I think this is good. Yeah. All right. Needs more matte varnish. I got a painting question. I recall artists, maybe you, mentioned that you should use gloss before applying AK streaking grime. Why is that? What is the purpose of this step, and any product you would recommend? I recommend using gloss varnish before oil wash, and streaking grime is very similar to oil washes, so I guess it works the same for this purpose. And the actual purpose is that that way there is less surface tension, and the wash slides more easily into recesses. So yeah. And furthermore, if you have to clean up the streaking grime afterwards, then you protect the model by gloss varnish. And remember that gloss varnish is more durable than matte. Airbrush, just easier. Well, Zumikido showed a great example of this in his army painting video. Yeah, but like the problem in my army painting video is that I let the oil paints cure, you know. If I did it immediately, if I cleaned off the oil wash immediately, it wouldn't happen. Yeah, okay, this will do. So let me close up on the miniature again. I'm not even sure where to add this color. So maybe we can add some around her boobs. Huh, this might be enough actually. No, I am not really that accurate, honestly. It's just that the paint is so thin that even if I don't aim perfectly, it doesn't matter if I spray 1 or 2 layers and I totally miss that. And yeah, I just have to make sure that most of my layers are somewhat accurate. Oh, that's a good question. Painting ultramarines, would you do an all-over oil wash for, say, ultramarine you speed painted, or a more focused paint wash? So since the fateful day, I would do paint wash for everything. Does it make a difference whether you apply gloss varnish with a spray or a brush? It doesn't have to make a difference, but I would assume that if you use a paintbrush, then you might build up too much of the varnish in one spot, which might result in some kind of milky texture. So yeah. If you do have an airbrush, just use it. Easier to use a can of varnish. Also, honestly, if for some reason the weather doesn't allow for that. Yeah, okay. I think that this is where we'll leave it. Now, if you guys have any questions, I think that I can answer those. And after that, we'll end the stream because I kind of have to think about how to progress further. I also might have to fix some of the midtones off stream. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Sweaty Zumikito can finally go and sleep. Ugh. Brush is fine, but like Zumi said, you can put it on too thick. Yeah, exactly. But many artists might just brush on some varnish, especially. Yeah, definitely. I do plan to buy an airbrush setup, but I kinda overshot my hobby budget. Well, shit. Bought a commissioned Custodes army secondhand. Deal too good to pass on. I guess we should also end with the shot of the miniature, right? Hi, Isophist. Yeah, so this is where we'll leave it. As I said, I might adjust some of the midtones, and after that, yeah, you'll see it adjusted on stream. I'm searching this stupid hand drill for the past 2 hours. Why are you motivating me to paint and then I can't because I cannot paint my model? So sorry, Gary. Very nice. Thank you, Heinrich. Paint first, then find a drill. Shadows are too pink. Yeah, I agree. I have to adjust some of the midtones, and then it'll be better. As it is, it's kind of too unnatural. Also, I might actually spray some of the brown right now. And you know what? Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Thank you, Isophist. So unfortunately, I don't have any of these artist colors that are brown. They are on the way, but until then, I will have to work with my regular ass hobby paints, which is fine. Especially for the deepest shade. But still would prefer those artist brands. So again, let's zoom out. Again, some water. Actually, we have to include more diluting agent now because we are not using those artist paints. The hobby paints will cover better. They have better coverage since they are not as pure. You and Marco trying to make me buy more paint. Please stop. You just have to contain yourself, my friend. But also, you just have to get good paints. And that's it. You know? Just buy all the good paints once. That's it. Quashes? Jesus Christ. I don't think that I'm gonna ever get into that. Wait, I can use squash on minis? Yeah, you can. And actually, that's maybe even preferred if you are painting metallic minis. Or at least like as a base coat. Quashes, artist grade acrylics like Zumikito. Wait, this is considered a quash? Is it? So I would prefer this particular color to be transparent as well, but... Oh. Okay. This will work. Uh, Thank you for the follow, Diova17. Okay, so let's now try and make it less pink. Zumikito and look up Marco Fersoni. Yeah, I know Marco. We actually had a beer together. Oh, you are not telling that to me. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, let's mask her face again. Hey man, I recently got into Warhammer and your videos were great on teaching how to paint. I appreciate it. Kakuna! But is Quash opaque enough? Oh, I don't know anything about Quashes. Just finished some Vaporware Eldar and they came out pretty cool looking, even though edge highlighting is a massive pain. My advice on edge highlight is that you should make it, the paint consistency should be quite dry, but just wet enough so it spreads nicely. No, that's it. That's the secret to great edge highlights. Okay. This is very strange, I know, taping her face like that, but it's for her own good. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah, good night, Zerodar. We are actually almost finished as well, so yeah. You are not missing too much. But anyway, if you wanna see the entirety of the stream, because I am not sure if you've been present for it, you can see the VOD. And yeah, actually we'll finish with this. I will have to play around with the midtones, because as it is, it's a bit too pink, as someone mentioned. And also there are some mistakes here and there, which I have to kinda get rid of. So yeah, this is it for this stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. This is the final shot of the miniature. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream. And yeah. Now I guess we can rate some channel. Isn't that right? I have never used this feature, but apparently it's possible. Do you guys have any suggestion for rate? Shit, this is a very strange angle. Yes, this is my very first rate. So who should we rate? Is he online? These are terrible suggestions. Come on. Well, at least the Raid Shadow Legends. Come on, I just want someone who is related to miniature painting. Belal Fireforge. Let's find him. Or her. I have no idea who that is. What? Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so let's raid him actually. Just let me find the feature where I can do that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is where the stream turns dog shit, and I am so sorry you guys, but yeah. Ah, there we go. Just a second. Yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for joining me, and yeah, see you on the next stream, which is Wednesday. Good night. Enjoy the stream ahead of you. What the hell is happening? Does it work or not?